Hi, welcome to Pod of Mercy. I am your host, Longhair Linda, and today's very special guest co-host is...
Yo, what's up? It's Dean, aka LSDean, also of the band Stress Headache. What's happening?
Nice. How are you, Dean? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a bit tired. Just got back from Leeds. Went to 2 gigs, so yeah, knackered. I worked out I've gone to 57 gigs this year, which is too many.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's really a lot.
Yeah.
Why? Out of interest. Why has it been so many?
Playing gigs, going to support mates stuff. Yeah, adds up.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and the more gigs you go to, the more you're like, oh, that band's good, I should see them. And then you have to go and see them.
Yeah. Especially if you told them you're going to go see them now, it's like, oh, I've definitely got to go.
Yeah, no, that's the worst
It's
thing.
your mistake, that.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, Dean, listen, you haven't been here before, but how I like to start before just jumping straight into the topic, I like to have a bit of a warm-up, a little icebreaker, as it were. So I always like to start the episode with a rapid fire round. So I'm going to give you 45 seconds, Dean, to answer 10 questions. Does that sound feasible to you? Do you think you can do it?
I think I can make an attempt.
All right, I need more confidence from you. I need you to be like, yeah, definitely, got it, easy. That's what I'm looking for.
Questions are, you know what I mean? Like, what if it's like maths? I don't have a degree, Linda. I don't know.
No. It will not be maths. It will not be maths. It's literally a this or that type of question or just something about yourself. So the best advice I can give you is just to give the first answer that you think of and try not to cancel yourself. Okay?
I'll try my absolute best.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, if you get through all 10 questions in the 45 seconds, then you win. And if you don't, then I win. There's no prizes, just bagging rights. Okay? Cool. Right. All right. I'm going to get my timer together.
Let me have a sip of water.
Have a sip of water, get yourself ready, take a deep breath. And then as soon as I say go and ask the first question, that's when the timer will start. Okay?
Sound.
All right. And go. Travel to the past or to the future?
Future.
First thing you do when you wake up?
Make a smoothie.
Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert?
Extrovert.
Number one goal to achieve in the next 5 years?
Have a good time.
Favorite board game?
Don't like them.
Do you kill spiders or take them outside?
Throw them out my window.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Drake.
Would you rather fly or have super strength?
Fly.
What object do you misplace or lose the most?
My watch.
Most important quality in a friend?
Just showing up.
Oh, you did it. You had 6 seconds left.
Easy. I could have definitely done a better guilty pleasure. Like, that's just the first one that came to my head.
I did have, because you should feel guilty about that. Why is your guilty pleasure Drake?
Here's the thing. The Drake songs I like are my guilty pleasure. I like the really naff ones. Like? Just like you know the album he did that sounded like the Love Island soundtrack?
I don't know.
Honestly, never mind, right? That whole album is just like songs for girls to put their makeup onto. Class. Absolute. Loved it all.
The only album I listened to back to front and really enjoyed was Take Care. So that was a really long time ago.
That stuff's actually good. But there's
I really enjoyed that.
I like the bad Drake stuff. Like, that's a guilty pleasure for me.
Okay. When I asked you what object you misplace or lose the most, did you say your lunch or your watch? Watch. Okay. Because I was like, how do you lose and misplace your lunch? Then that makes sense. Okay. Cool. All right. That was pretty good. I think you did pretty well. Well done.
I'm happy
do you feel like the ice has been broken? Do you feel warmed up, as it were?
If anything, I feel more tension. That was high pressure.
More tension. Surely now you've got the release, though, that you won. So now you can, like...
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, just telling me what I want to hear. All right, cool. Well, listen, today's topic, Dean, is what we're leaving in 2024. So we put together a list each of things that we would like to see left behind in 2024 as we move into this new year. Do you want to get started with one of yours, or do you want me to start?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So my first one is the toxic dating discourse. I know that dating is always going to be a big topic. I know that people are always interested in how to date better, how to find their mate, how to have a good relationship, you know, how to maybe get married, you know, whatever the case may be. I know this is always going to be an interest point, and I know therefore that there's always going to be content about this, right? So it's not necessarily the content I'm mad about. It's just how toxic it's gotten, and all of these coaches who are single coaching people into getting into relationships, who are, you know, these people talking about high value men and what's the other one, high functioning, and like all of this high functioning, low vibration, all of this stuff is so much noise and so unproductive. And if you're genuinely looking to get some advice on not just dating, but finding a true, like, a relationship, holding it down, and if marriage is what you want at the end of it, then that as well. I don't think that these are the people that you should be listening to. I think that you should maybe listen to people who have successful relationships and are maybe, you know, they've studied something in psychology potentially and sociology, and maybe something about how humans interact with each other, or at the very least have personal experience in holding down a relationship. That's probably the best place to start if you need a stranger to tell you how to find a mate. I don't like the shit that is constantly everywhere, with all these terms, with all these rules that no one's sticking to, with all these super hypocritical and contradicting statements, and people it's just a grift, man. Everyone's trying to get money off you, whether it's from engagements and views, or if it's from you actually paying for their courses for them to teach you how to date. Like, oh my God, like, please, I need it all to stop. It's the worst grift in the world, in the sense of it's really heartless and cruel, because it looks for vulnerable, desperate people who are really desperate to not be alone. And I feel terrible for them. And so I would like to leave that in 2024 and for it to never, ever return ever again.
I back that completely. It's also fundamentally unromantic. Like,
oh my God, yes.
It's not a video game. It's not a spreadsheet. You don't get points. You don't have an average points of how much money you earn, how handsome you are, how many times you go to the gym, and that gives you XP. Like, you just meet someone and you can be compatible with them, or you can not be compatible with them but be compatible with someone else. Like, it's that simple. Like, I couldn't agree more with that. Like, it does prey on the vulnerable. It makes people, it's commodifying. Like, it, not to be that guy, but it is kind of like consumerist in a way, where like turning ourselves into a commodity to sell.
Absolutely.
Which isn't romantic. Like, you just meet someone and you get along with them.
Even romance aside, it's crazily unhealthy, because you're now turning yourself into a product. You're not a product, mate. Like, we have to uncapitalism our brains, okay? We're not products. This isn't a buy and sell situation, okay? You're a human being with inherent worth. All you need to work on, like, yes, material stuff is fine, whatever. If you're into looks and things like this, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm saying basing your entire value on your looks, or basing someone else's entire value on their looks or the material things that they have, or all these crazy rules that people are giving you. If you look at these people's lives, spoiler alert, they're miserable. They're miserable. And it's a grift. They want money from you, okay? So or attention with some of them. Some of them don't even get money. They just get attention, which is even crazier. But I think that, like, just be a good person. Try that for a bit. Like, work on your, like, yes, go to the gym if you want to. The gym is great. Gym is great for people's mental health, physical health, all of that type of stuff, right? Love that for you. And, you know, if I can get myself back in the gym immediately, I will. Like, I've been slacking for the last couple of months. But I will say that the thing that's the most important is actually your character and who you are as a person. And if you haven't got that together, then I don't know what to tell you. There's not going to be advice that's going to be there to help. Because even if you do date, even if you do get a relationship, you might find that you're in some messed up situations because you are a messed up individual, and you're probably going to attract another messed up individual. So I feel like, let's just everyone calm down, focus on just being a good human, go outside, touch some grass, speak to people face to face. That might help too, if you can.
Gain an interest. Get a hobby. Get a
do
hobby.
something you like, and then guess what? There'll be people there doing that thing that you like, and you might like them, and they might like you, and then done. You didn't need a coach after all. Look at that. You didn't even have to spend any money.
But don't be doing things just to meet people, because you're going to meet other people who are only trying to meet people, and they're just trying to mend their loneliness. And it's like your friends will make you feel less lonely. I promise you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's sad. I've got a mate who she's literally stopped dating women now because she's bi, and she stopped dating women now because when she goes on apps, she sees other women and she's like comparing herself to them in terms of the men market. And I'm like, that's not how any of this works. Like, it's not a transfer market. There's not like, yeah,
100%. That's oof. Yeah, that's not good.
I couldn't agree with that more.
To be honest, I think dating apps really gotta go too. I'm sorry. Like, I think initially people probably thought they were a good idea, like in terms of like making it easier to meet people, but I think it's making things worse. I think it's giving everyone too many options and too many chances to feel like shit.
They have to make money somewhere, and they have to find. I mean, most apps just work on finding a whale now, so they have to find the most miserable person. And they have to keep you on that app as well. Like, that's the main thing.
If they don't find the most miserable person, they'll make you the most miserable person, and now you'll spend the money. So exactly. I agree with that. Yeah, ban them all. Just get rid of it all. Just everyone, let's go outside for a bit. Like, the internet's fantastic, but let's go outside for a bit. Just for a little bit. I don't even
think the internet's fantastic. I say get rid of it.
Well, do you know what?
You have to have a license to go on the internet. How about that? And it renews.
No. If we're getting rid of the internet, we just got to get rid of it. We can't have a license because then that's going to be capitalized as well. It's going to be monopolized.
Yeah, true.
Terrible. But no. If we're going to have no internet, let's just have no internet. And then I'll have to go on the radio waves to do Pod of Mercy or something. Catch me on FM AM in the morning. All right, go on, Dean. What's one of yours?
What shall we go with? We'll go with the first one because it's not the same, but it's similar. Just taking the bait, man. Everyone, honestly, like I hate going on Twitter now because everyone's just replying to something that's clearly a joke or clearly engagement bait, and acting like they're somehow smarter for falling for it. And oh my God, it winds me up so much. Or being like, oh, but the fact I thought this true says something. Yeah, it says you're a gullible dick. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you don't need to say every single thing that comes in your head. Oh my God, especially when like so much of the online space, the reward is just from engagement. It's like you've just rewarded this person. It's so easy to see something and just go, well, I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to say anything. And I'll tell my friends, and me and my friends will have a little laugh in person or in a group chat. I don't have to post this. I don't have to give this person more attention. Like, it's, and this is another one that I put as its own point, but I actually think is basically the same point of like, it's a similar thing people do online now that also winds me up in discourse where they like act like everyone else apart from them online is a monolith and they all have the same opinions. Like, someone will come out and they'll be like, oh, but you guys weren't saying this last year. It's like, well, some people were and some people weren't. Like, there's a lot of people on this website. I don't know if you know that or not. There's about 1 billion. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, 100%. I think, they are one and the same thing. They're two sides of the same coin of, I'm super smart and my opinion is like gold here because I know something that you lot didn't. It's like, who's the you lot you're talking to? Like, who are you? Who are you? Your echo chamber, because that's probably who you're talking. If you only saw people say like one thing about a very nuanced topic, especially, then that's the echo chamber that's what you've built for yourself, or the algorithm was built for you. Like, that's not everybody. That's not everybody. And I agree, like, we are given, I hate that. There's people that are really bad for it as well, and I just mute them. Like, if I don't want to unfollow them because I think it's rude and I know them in real life, I will mute them. There are people I know in real life who I've muted. I cannot have them on my timeline because all they do is respond or quote tweet to, like, really offensive or stupid takes that are either jokes that aren't funny, or they're just bots, which is most of Twitter now. You can't get me to believe that there's less bots than there are people, actual users on Twitter. That it's not possible. It's all bots now. I think there are far less people on Twitter than we think. But anyway, that's another topic.
Yeah, I mean, massively.
Yeah, it's bot farms. It's outrageous. But I say that to say that you're feeding into it and giving that person or that bot attention and engagement. And now that people can earn money, I think more and more people are starting to realize, actually, I'm going to stop engaging because I am giving that person money. And I do see people do more of the screenshot and give their opinion if they want to share their opinion with their followers, which I prefer. I think I've done that 1 or 2 times. But the thing that I mainly do is the thing that you say, which is take a picture of it, take a screenshot of it, and share it to the group chat and have a conversation in there.
Yeah.
Give my 2 cents, which is a little, usually laughing at something, oh my God, how stupid is this? But I'll do that off the site. I'm not doing it there. Do you know what I mean? They still get impressions and you can still get money off impressions, but I can't control impressions because if the algorithm decides it's going to be on my timeline, I'm going to see it. But outside of that, I'm not giving you more. I'm not getting my blood pressure up to tell you that you're an idiot and like, well, for what?
And like so many times, like actors that do not have people's best interests are like pretending to be a group of people. Like you see it so many times, like just people will have a completely fake profile pretending to be whichever minority they hate and post like the most, it's obviously fucking fake opinion or
they do that thing of I'm a black woman and then say something super racist or like super sexist. And you're just like,
yeah. But like even if they're not doing that, if they're just like, and I think we should kill everyone, and then people are like, oh my God, I can't believe that she said this, and it's like, no one said that. Maybe one person on earth has said that, but no one's actually said that. Like you could spend half a minute on their profile if you'd had basic impulse control and being able to be like, yeah, no, this probably isn't actually a black woman.
Yeah. Oh, this probably isn't even an actual person. They joined 2 months ago, and every tweet they've ever posted has gone viral.
And their name is
might be a bot, mate.
Eileen, followed by 12 numbers. Like,
it's not. Come on. I think that. Yeah, let's have more discernment in 2025, shall we? Just a little bit more, or maybe just fucking get rid of Twitter. Honestly, at this point, I don't even call it by its new name.
Because my enemies are on there. You know what I mean?
Your
like everyone's
enemies? That's funny.
Yeah, everyone I hate is on there. And I get to, and also I really like that there's no moderation anymore because I just tell people themselves now, and no, it's not got any employees left, so no one's there to stop me. Yeah. Like, it's got really toxic, and I'm feeding into it. Like,
you're part of the problem.
Nah, because I'm combating. Like Twitter is full of fucking Nazis now. It's actually mad.
No, it's
straight up Nazis there on there now. But the good thing is you can tell them to themselves, and like honestly, you probably won't get suspended. No one works there. Sound. You know what? I go on it to just like get some of my aggression off now. I just see some dickhead. I'm like, I hate you. By the way, I come under good writing practice as well. I'll tell you that. I get really in my metaphorical bag when I'm telling Nazis on Twitter to kill themselves. Like the other day, I came up with, I would the devil just to be the person that hurts you first, which I was really happy with. And that I'm just treating it like a game, basically.
All right. Well, you found your ways to cope with it. I just don't. I do the thing where I don't read replies anymore. If I see a super like viral tweet that somehow ended up on my timeline that has nothing to do with me or people I follow, then I will I used to go in the replies, especially if I was like, wait, what? Or oh yeah, this is an interesting point or whatever. I just don't go in the replies anymore. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what people said. I don't want to know the racist things that live in there. I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. I'm not interested. So I don't look at the replies for my own mental health. And I'm trying to spend a bit less time over there. I open it less if I can because it's just not my business. A lot of what's going on over there isn't my business, and I need to stop trying to make it my business.
Well, it's just no longer a social platform. It's just various different performances.
Mayhem. It's the new propaganda tool. Let's be honest. That's what it is. It's the new 24-hour news media. It's just a new version of the papers and the news and all the things that used to try and scare you before. Now it's just on the internet, and we think, oh, it's social media. It's not. Anyway, a little bit of my conspiracies leaking out as always. All right, my second one is the time hopping and multiversing in like shows and franchise movies. I don't know if you've noticed this, but in recent years, for some reason, whenever there's like a new season of something, or Invincibles, I'm looking at you here, or Invincible, I'm looking at you here, or like franchise movies, like Marvel movies or whatever, they keep doing this whole thing where they're gonna suddenly start confusing me and just throw in a multiverse out of nowhere, or they'll throw in some like time hopping that just doesn't seem to make any sense. And I'm sick of it, and I don't want any parts of it. Just tell me a story and follow on that story with the next season or the next franchise sequel or whatever. Like, that's what I'd like. You can go back a little bit and tell me a prequel. I'm good with that. I like a good prequel. Tell me how things started and then go back to the order of things. That's fine. But this whole multiverse, weird time hopping, trying to figure out where we are, what I'm seeing, I'm good. I'm all right. It's not fun for me.
I couldn't agree more.
Like, the story any better at all.
Well, a multiverse is really what it should be, is a writing tool to get you out of when you've fucked up your continuity, or you've made a decision that you've now gone, oh, editorial's now gone, oh, we don't want to do that anymore. It's not like, it shouldn't be something that you like. Like, you shouldn't be like, oh, it's great that there's no stakes because actually there's another universe that everything's fine in. Like, it shouldn't be the plot. It should be a plot device in case you fucked it. And now everyone's doing it. Everyone's just admitting, nah, we're not asked anymore. This is just, I'm just going to jingle the keys and oh my God, you can see everyone together.
Because also now I don't care. Like, if my favorite character, something happens to my favorite character, I don't care like I would before, because I'm like, well, clearly there's going to be some kind of multiverse and they're fine. Or there's going to be another one that like is exactly them, but just from a different timeline. Like, I'm not as invested. It's not as important. And if I'm not invested in the story, then I'm not watching it. Because why am I here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And yeah, mine were gonna be superhero movies. I had that on them, but I'm just super not asked about it anymore. Like, it's like they've given up, and all this multiverse stuff is just them trying to figure out what they can do to get people into the cinemas, because making a good movie is simply not an option, because there's a risk in trying to make a good movie that some people won't like it, whereas there's no risk in jingling the keys. Yeah. And being like, oh, you can see this person and this person. And it's like, I'm not arsed, bro. Like, I started watching these when I was 15 years old. Please just make a good movie. I'll tell you what I'm getting rid of, actually. Bring that on. Every film looks like shit. Like, the visuals, the lighting looks like shit. Marvel movies look like shit. Wicked looks like shit.
Didn't watch it. Couldn't do it.
There's a lot.
The press for it made me go, ah.
The press for it was amazing, to be fair. The
press for it really was like, I can't watch this. I can't. I saw too much on the timeline.
But it's the Wizard of Oz. It should be like in the same way Barbie made $1 billion because it was pretty and there were sound stages and nice colors.
It's Barbie.
Yeah. But also, like, I think that the fact it was nice to look at did help people. Like, people went, oh, you can go to the movies and look at nice, pretty colors and feel good for a bit.
And see everything.
Wicked's shot like Neighbours. Like, it's just a bright light going directly into my face. It's the fucking Wizard of Oz. There should be a million fucking bright. It should be like a lovely little kaleidoscope, because I hate musicals. I can't stand them. But I like the Wizard of Oz because it's the Wizard of Oz and there's nice, pretty things to look at. I did like the press tour, though. That was great. Make more actors go mental. I like it.
I cringed my absolute back out. I couldn't do it. It was too much for me. I wish the ladies well. I really do. I just couldn't do it.
It seems that they've maybe gone off the deep end.
They've completely lost their marbles.
I think we just need to separate them. They're
not a good influence.
No, exactly. They've become one of the most toxic forces in the universe.
Yeah.
Eating disorder besties. Eating disorder besties are the word. Everyone knows them. Everyone knows eating disorder besties, and you need to get them away from each other.
We can't have them be friends. If there's any hope of recovery, we cannot have them be friends. Like, and I'm not even trying to make light of the situation. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Get them away from each other. You can 100%. Both get better separately. But your two personalities the personality disorders are bouncing off each other. This is what I want Inside Out 3 to be about. Riley gets an eating disorder bestie.
Oh no, we shouldn't laugh, but that is a great idea. I'm not gonna lie. It is interesting though with the movies, is like they're really just they are AIing everything, aren't they? Like literally and metaphorically. Like it's just so much regurgitation. But what's really interesting is that I was thinking about this before, and I was like, they've always done this. It's just that. What am I looking for? I feel like it didn't feel as obvious, but they've always done this. Because if you think about it, I'm in my 30s. I mean, I'm in my 30s, and there's always been a Superman. Yeah. There's always been a Batman. There's been different actors in different, like, you know, eras of them, like a James Bond, and like all of these things. There's always been. I guess the issue is that they're telling the same story now, whereas before they had the same lead or the same protagonist or the same whatever, but they would do something with it. I guess that's probably what's different. That's probably why it feels so much more of a regurgitation now, is that there was still some creativity, even though they were still very risk averse and they wanted to use something or someone that was guaranteed to make money, which fine, I understand with the big studios doing that. But I think that like, at least they let some creativity happen. It felt like maybe when I was growing up compared to now, where it just feels like, no, you're literally retelling the exact same story. You're just filming it again. Like you're just filming it again.
And well, producers are fundamentally uncreative people like that. And that's not their job. The job's to stop that. Well, their job was to stop all the artists losing everyone's money. But that eventually morphed into to make all the money on earth because we've put too much money into this product. Like, why is every movie going to cost 300 million? Just make a rom-com. Rom-coms shouldn't cost any money whatsoever.
They've got them over on Netflix. But I feel like I don't think it's because they spent so much money.
You reckon?
I don't know. I feel like it's something else going. That's not good enough reason. They have access to literally all the money in the world. I don't think that's what it is. I think there's a concerted effort to, like, it's like a brain rot thing. I genuinely think it's something to do with that. Because it just doesn't feel like the money is just a poor excuse for these massive, massive production companies that have been around since I was a child. Imagery that we've seen since we were kids. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of the people on the top now are also like, because we've had so much nepotism, and it's like a lot of the people on top just aren't good at the job. Like it's just someone's shit kid. And you do need someone to have risen through and worked for it, because they're the only people, like, they are the best capitalists and they're the most brutal ones, but they're also the ones that make a good product. And like, if everyone's just someone's shit kid, then they can't be imaginative. Which and it's not their fault. They just, you know, they haven't.
But do you think a good or a successful capitalist job is to make a good product or to make as much money they can from the product? I don't think they care if it's a good product.
Yeah,
if it makes money, they don't care.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So I don't think I agree with you that, you know, there's definitely a lot of nepotism there, because these massive companies especially are just passed down by lineage rather than by skill or work ethic or anything like that. Which is their right to do, fine, whatever. But I think that, I don't think I don't know that they've ever cared about the product, but I think.
Well, I think before there was a belief that you had to make a good product in order to make money, whereas now they've kind of gone now we will
accept subpar, and we've proven that we'll accept subpar because they'll still make a ton of money from it.
Yeah,
I mean, the biggest conversation outside of her being black with The Little Mermaid was how dimly light everything was. Her hair wasn't bright. It was just, like a ginger, but it wasn't bright red. The colors weren't bright in the water. It was all very dark. Yeah. That was the main complaint outside of people being upset that, Ariel was black in the movie. But it still made a whole fuck ton of money.
Moana 2 wasn't supposed to come out. It was supposed to be a TV show. And
was it?
Yeah. It was supposed to be a Disney Plus show. Then at the last minute, they were like, "Oh, let's make this into a movie," which sometimes works. Like Emperor's New Groove was never supposed to exist. And last second, they did it on the fly or something. But Moana 2 is just I take my nieces. My nieces love that stuff. Absolutely naff, and it's made all the money on earth. And I think
we've cracked it. That's what it is. They don't need to give us anything good anymore. We'll take
it.
It's
going to make a less imaginative generation of kids because they haven't had pretty beautiful things to look at and had these ideas from childhood. And it's sad.
I'm hoping it does the opposite. I'm hoping it makes, because I do see a lot of stuff that happens and it's all very cyclical. A lot of stuff. How trends come and go, this type of thing. I think a lot of this stuff is very cyclical. And I hope that happens with creativity too. I hope that even though right now it looks like this is going to result in people not really having much imagination, I'm hoping it's going to create a need in future generations to have the beautiful, bright, super detailed, super creative, super wondrous things. I hope that's what they create because of a lack, because of a need that's come about from not having it. So I don't know, it might be wishful thinking. I hope that's what happens because it would be nice. All right, my next one is decentering conversations. I don't know if you've seen this on the timeline, but a lot of people are like, we need to, mostly women, I'm sorry, but we need to decenter men. And we need to decenter friends. And the other day I even saw we need to decenter our parents.
You know what? That's added. Yeah. Well, that's actually basically ties into one of my ones, which is just
excellent. I love when that happens. Go on.
Therapy speak. Everyone's been to. Well, no, not everyone. A certain class of person can afford therapy, and there's a certain class of therapists that go, this person doesn't really need my help, but if I tell them what they want to hear, then they'll keep paying me on BetterHelp. BetterHelp's full of naff therapists, by the way. They just they'll just do whatever it takes you to make. Basically, you just go there, and it's like a life coach. They just tell you, "Oh yeah, you're great, by the way. This is why everyone else around you is bad." And now everyone's got these nice, lovely words to convince themselves that they're right all the time. Decentering, not gaslighting, that one is actually important, but things like
No, I think all of them are important. It's just they're constantly overused, and then they become trendy to say, and then all meaning is lost. That's what I hate about it. Not the words themselves. Gaslighting is a real thing. Making an effort to decenter certain things is real and is important in your life. But you constantly using it because it's a trendy thing to say on the timeline is what's annoying the shit out of me. And to your point with the whole therapy speak, it's you doing one therapy session, or you having a terrible therapist, or you looking online and finding therapy terms and seeing that it's trending, and now you deciding that you're going to not only use these terms willy-nilly, but also diagnose people because you don't like them or they don't like you. Crazy. Can we stop this, please? That's insane. You can't just alter. You broken up with your boyfriend and now suddenly your boyfriend's a narcissist. No actual narcissistic tendencies. You just broken up, and that's enough for you to use a serious term like narcissist.
Which is serious narcissist. It's a personality disorder.
What? You can't just use these words and say that that's what this person is because you don't like them anymore, or they told you that they wanted to break up with you, or whatever the circumstances. If it's not actually signs of narcissism, can we please just stop using these words? Can we stop using these words like they're trendy? If someone hasn't actually been gaslighting you, There was zero manipulation in the form of telling you that something is happening that isn't, or isn't happening that is. If it's not specifically that, it's not gaslighting. Okay.
Yeah.
But the decentering one seems to be the flavor of the day, at least on my timeline, in my echo chamber, on my algorithm. That's what I'm seeing all the time. When I saw this lady say we need to decenter our parents, I said, enough. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of everyone using this word. You mentioned about the therapy thing. One that I have later on in my list was Twitter therapists analyzing the lives of celebrities despite not knowing them at all.
Yeah.
That one is driving me up the wall. It's bad enough that you have decided that you, unqualified Joe Bloggs that lives down the street, is going to start diagnosing people that you know. But now you're diagnosing people and talking about mental health conditions and assigning them to people who are celebrities who you don't know, but you feel like you know because they're a celebrity.
But people have always done this. It's just that they used to go, oh, Tom Cruise is gay. Like now it's, oh, Tom Cruise is this. Like it is the same thing, but you can't. People just
but I feel like
gay anymore. Now it's like, oh, he's got type B personality disorder now.
What's mad is I feel like we had back in the day, we had actual like tabloids, right? I mean, I think we still do, but they're just defunct. We had actual tabloids, like it would be on the front of, you know, National Enquirer and all this shit, right? And it would be insane, the things that they would say about people. Then you had like online blogs, like bloggers who would do this type of thing. You've got the shade rooms, you've got all of these people, right? But now you've just got regular everyday people that don't get paid for this. This isn't their job, which is bad enough. I mean, it's still terrible to say these things about people. But it's not your job. You're just a random person living your life. You're doing a 9 to 5 and you decide on your lunch break to get on Twitter and start psychoanalyzing Chloe Bailey because there is a video of her and Burna Boy. And now you need to have an entire Twitter think piece about the type of stage that Chloe Bailey is in her life and the type of things that she must be going through mentally in order to be dating Burna Boy. How about we don't know them? We don't know them people. We don't know them people. I understand having an opinion about it because a lot of stuff gets put in our face, right? If you've seen a lot of stuff about Burna Boy in the past in your timeline, you might be like, oof, that might not be a good choice, but whatever, you know, move on. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not claiming to know her mind state or her mental health conditions because, you know, trying to figure out what could lead her to be where she was born, her relationship with her parents. I have seen all of this in the last few days. And I'm like, you people don't know this lady. You don't know her. You don't know him. You don't know her family. You're unwell. You don't know these people. You don't know them. So yeah, that is not, I'd like to leave that in 2024. Don't want to take that because you don't know these people. Shut up. You don't know anything. You can actually just be quiet.
I've got one, the next one. This one is much less deep and much less filled in society. It's just pissed me off this week.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
Tickets that need an app. And you know what? Also, deliveries that need an app. I've got 5 fucking apps on my phone. What the fuck is Skiddle? What the fuck is Yodel? Honestly, like, if you're not one of the big 4, just send me a PDF in it because I'm going to download your app for one day, get it, and like, if I'm at the door of the venue and I'm trying to use the 3G to download your shit app so that I can get in, remember all my login details, like, winds me up so much. Just send me a PDF with a QR code on it. You can buy my data off someone else. I'm not asked. I'll give you my data if you give me £1 off. How about that? Like,
yeah, give me some money for my data. I do think that I do like those 2 apps. I must say, Skiddle and Yodel, the ones you use as examples.
I'm beefing with Yodel at the moment. Me and Yodel, they're not in my good books.
Really? I find that they tell me where the driver is and that helps me for deliveries. I find that to be better than guessing.
Of shipping to a shop around Christmas. And the shop was like, nah, we're full. And Yodel were like, yeah, this is going back to Belgium. I was like, I don't live in Belgium.
Okay, no, that's bad. That is bad. That's not happened to me. But I will say with Skiddle, my one thing with Skiddle is like, Yeah, just send the QR code to my email, mate. Like, you've sent me confirmation. You told me I've purchased it. I can see that I've purchased it. Just send me it on, like, just send it to my email.
Yeah,
Don't,
just a PDF to the email. I don't want to go on your app.
This waiting until the event is live and then I'll be able to view my QR code in the app. Like, when you're at the door, if you don't know these instructions ahead of time, if you've not got a lot of experience using Skiddle, that will confuse the hell out of you, because now you can't find your QR code anywhere. You're now panicking. It's a lot. Just send the QR code, mate. Like, I know you want people to use your app. That's great. Your app is all right, but just let people, don't annoy people into using your app, because that's not also going to go well. So I'm with you on that.
I have another one that's also gig related. It's just gig tickets being 40 quid now. What's going on there? Academy show should be 20 quid. 20 quid for an academy, 5 to 10 for a local, 15 if there's a touring on a DIY. I'm not doing 40 quid. Slipknot was 70 quid. It's Slipknot. It's 11 people in a mask. 70 quid. It's not happening. And like, I go to DIY shows, like, you don't. Yeah, I mean, I went to 57 gigs this year. That can tell you they weren't all 70 quid. But like, every now and then, there's a couple bands that are, or like rappers that I want to see. And I'm not spending that much money. That's crazy. Like, and every concert now has about like 6 supports, and it's trying to be a day fest. Limp Bizkit are playing with Riff Raff, and it's 90 quid. I don't give a fuck about Riff Raff. I just want to see Limp Bizkit because I liked them when I was 13. I'm not paying £90 for it.
See Riff Raff live? That's insane.
Who wants to pay £90 and see Riff Raff?
That's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
That's not happening.
No, it's not.
So that's my one. Just concerts in general are getting too much.
See if I've got something to do with. I don't have anything to do with concerts, but I have a couple Gen Z ones. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you are on TikTok, but I love TikTok, and I started noticing a trend of Gen Zs trying to repurpose the Dirty Wine. And it's the Dirty Wine song the Dirty Wine dance, based on the song by Tony Matterhorn. And there's a very simple dance to that. You kind of move your legs like this and you do this with your head. You kind of do the circular thing with your head, right? Everyone has known this. It's been that way since the song came out, I believe in the early 2000s. And for some reason, Gen Z decided to make up like a little dance thing to it. And it's like, no, that already had a dance. Stop it. So it's nothing hugely terrible or whatever, nothing end of the world like, but that annoyed me. So I would like to leave that in 2024. Please, if a dance already exists.
And this is going to sound mental. I think that's a symptom of Corona, because they weren't outside. You know what I mean? Like 16 through 22.
Yeah, in fairness, it's not actually Gen Z.
Like, oh yeah, that's what you do to that song. They were stuck inside. They weren't going.
Fair. I think it's not actually Gen Z. It might be like the one younger than that. It's like Gen Alpha.
Oh yeah, they're fucked.
Because Gen Zs are like 25. Like, I don't think it's them. But yeah, I do. Yeah, it's weird because I don't like it. Dance already exists for it. It was already a thing. People, and so what I did like though was that millennials were getting on the timeline, and they were, even in their 30s with their knees, not being as strong as what they used to be, very much went in there and actually were like, no, this is the Dirty Wine, use the sound, and would do the actual dance. So that made me happy. But that was a little bit annoying. And another one is Gen Alphas very loudly not knowing very normal things. Like, I saw a tweet the other day saying, oh my God, Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson were siblings. That has to be a joke. It has to be a joke. But then, like, I'll just see like really weird takes. I'll just see very, very weird takes. And I'm like, you're very young. You're very new here.
You could go on Wikipedia.
Being very, very loud.
You should not be finding out information from social media. You should
like
learn
thinking that
about
Drake is the only hip hop artist that's like ever done big things. Like, just like forgetting about everyone else because Drake is your favorite artist. It's like, cool, you can have a favorite artist. It's not the issue. But like forgetting everything else that's happened around the same time, like there's really not an excuse.
But they don't know it. It's not even their fault. They just don't know it. But like, spend some time on Wikipedia. I found out about all my favorite music literally through Wikipedia because I was in a punk band and I didn't like punk. And I was like, I need to find a subgenre of punk that I don't hate. So I spent all day.
Why were you in a punk band? You don't like punk?
Because I was 14.
That explains a lot of things.
I was like, I want to be in a band and I can't play an instrument. What can I do? You can play punk. You don't have to be able to play your instrument. And then I started, I was like, oh, this genre sucks. No one can play their instrument. So I spent all day on Wikipedia and I found the type of punk that I liked, which was hardcore. And that's what I like now. Like, you don't have to find everything off social media because social media is not going to be your mate. There's Wikipedia, there's encyclopedias, actually talking to your friends and your parents. And that's not just Gen Alpha, that's also just generally. People seem to want to get all their information from social media. And it's not very good for that.
No, it's not. But I understand why they get their information there, to be fair. So yeah, to your point, it's maybe not always their fault. But I just want to leave that in 2024 too. Go on then. Have you got any other ones? I've got a couple more, I think.
I've got 3 that kind of like together and one that I just want to Subway. Let's get rid of Subway. Sick of it. It's terrible.
Okay.
It's not good. It's the worst option at all times. I can promise you I can always make a better sandwich than Subway. It's open till like 3 a.m. Who's getting a Subway sandwich at 3 a.m.?
I like the tuna sandwiches at Subway, but I will say that like they don't.
You can get a better tuna sandwich though. You can just go to a cafe. You can just go.
And they never like don't ever. Yeah, they never get it right. They just
if you're in a city centre, and you want a good sandwich, follow the high vis jackets because they're about to go to Arlene's Cafe. And you're going to go in Arlene's Cafe and it's going to be £3.80. It's going to be the same price it was in 1982. And you're going to get an absolute 7 out of 10 sandwich and be like, yeah, that was good, that.
That's fair. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay,
Subway.
Subway's out of here. Subway's left in 2024. Okay. I'm not mad. Brands joining in on social media trends.
Yes, really lame. Really lame.
Because sometimes it can be cute, but for the most part, they do end up just draining the life out of it. And the originators either never get paid or never get any credit for it, never even get any acknowledgement. And then it just ends up being a brand thing. So brands, do your own thing. Marketing departments, please, create something yourself. There are still people worth their salt in marketing departments who come up with interesting and engaging campaigns without ripping off everyday people on social media. Yeah, do your own thing in 2025, please. Thank you.
How about that? It's corny. Didn't like the we let Gen Z write our social media trend. That was corny. Boring.
Not for me. Don't like it.
One of mine, like pop alternative and pop heavy music. Paramore are on tour with Taylor Swift. You're not weird because you listen to them. Green Day have been a band since 1992. You're not weird because you listen to them. These festivals cost £350. You're not special because you listen to them. You're not rebelling against anyone whatsoever because you listen to them. Come on, let's stop acting.
Wait, am I not a hardcore rebel because I like Fall Out Boy?
They were in Big Hero 6. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not. You're just doing a slightly different form of capitalism. If anything, it's more corny because you're paying to show how different you are. Like, either go to a DIY show or just enjoy good stuff. Like, there's so much of it that's absolutely naff, and people only listen to it because they think it makes them different when it doesn't even make you that different. These people are in 10,000 cap shows. You listen to them on the radio. That's been winding me up.
It's the aesthetic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like you're not standing for anything. Like people got mad when loads of bands, couple bands actually dropped off download because of the Barclays boycott, and then people were like, "Oh, what if I paid my money to go see them?" No, you didn't. You didn't pay your money to go see Speed, because if you did, you would have saw them 4 times this year, because they play every other fucking day. You can see them in someone's back garden. Well, you could have. You can't anymore. Like it winds me up. It's not that big.
No, but it's still something you'd like to leave in 2024. All right. Let's see. What else have I got here? We have only got like 2 more. So for this one, I'm going to go with celebrity crash outs on the timeline. Stop talking to us. Actually, just stop.
I will make one caveat for that.
Go on.
Keep Azalea. Keep her.
Azalea Banks?
Yes. She's my absolute.
I haven't seen anything from her in a long time.
She's made so many bot accounts. She's made so many burners, and every single one is like 99% insane, 1% some of the funniest shit you've ever read in your life.
I have no idea what that lady's got going on anymore, because I stopped following her a long time ago because she's insane. But yeah, I mean, she has said the odd funny thing. She has said the odd I'll give you that. But I feel like just apps like there's just everyone's losing it. Losing it on the timeline. And it makes me sad sometimes when I see it, because especially if they are a celebrity with a talent or somebody that I liked, right? Because obviously I don't know them as people, so I don't claim to like them as people. But in terms of like someone who's like a musician that I really enjoy, for example, and then when you're crashing out, that's when you say like I often think the most ignorant shit you'll ever say, but also some of the most truthful things you'll ever say. And now I'm like, fuck, now I can't. Now when I try and listen to your music, I'm gonna be thinking about how much of an idiot you are, and I can't do it. It's like it's hard for me. You're ruining my experience. I just want to enjoy whatever it is that you do for the world, whether you're a musician, whether you're in films, whatever it is. I don't always want to know what your opinion is at all, let alone you fucking crashing out on the timeline. I don't want to see it, man. So can we stop? Just stop talking to us. Leave us alone. Get a celebrity group chat. Do all your fuckeries in there. I don't want to know. Yeah. I don't want to know anymore.
How entertaining can being a celebrity really be if you're here on Twitter with me?
Like, why are you dying to get up onto timelines and tell us all about your shit? Like, clearly you're bored. How can you be bored? You're rich. Go do something.
Yeah. Go to a water park. Buy a water park.
Buy a water park. Get on a flight and just go to a random part of Japan and have a great time. Like, I don't understand. I don't know why you're talking to me. Why are you talking to me? Stop talking to me.
I have one that's kind of similar, but from the opposite approach, which is songs being PhD theses. Songs being too smart. Sick of it. You're not a smart person. And even if you are a smart person, I'm not a smart person. So what are we doing here? Like, there's so many albums that I think are like awesome. I'm not going to listen to them. Like, hey, The Godfather is one of the best movies ever made. If I'm just come back from work or just come back from the gym, I'm watching Ocean's 11 through 13 before I watch The Godfather. That's what's happening. Me and Danny Ocean are hanging out. I'm on my phone during the movie. Don't care. If I listen to music in the gym, innit? I'm not in the gym trying to think about the socio-economic state of the world. I'm in the gym trying to hear some guy be like, "Oh yeah, I'm strong," or trying to you know what? Sometimes I listen to Scissor in the gym. That also gets it sometimes because it makes me laugh. But like, don't have to be that deep. It's fine. Some people make that kind of music, but also don't shame me if I don't listen to it. Until this last album, I actually really liked this Kendrick album that came out. Before that, Kendrick has always been in a category of really, really good music that I listen to once a year. I listen to it when it comes out, and then I go, "Oh, am I going to listen to Pimp a Butterfly today?" No, I've got stuff to do. Absolutely not. There's 8-letter words in that song. That's not going to happen. I've got to listen to all of it to piece together the poem. Nah, bro. I'm listening to Harm's Way, Become a Machine. I'm lifting weights going, I'm becoming a machine. That's great. Harm's Way. So that's one for me.
So maybe what you want to leave in 2024 then is people shaming other people for not listening to intellectual music rather than the people creating intellectual music, right?
Or just understanding that there's that music is functional and there's a time and a place. And some people use music for different things. I mainly use music for the gym. I'll be 100% honest with you. And I'm not trying to listen to smart shit in the gym. I'm not even trying to really listen to music in the gym. It's just happening, and the other things around me aren't happening because the loud music is happening.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. Yeah, I agree with that. Time and a place, for sure. All right. So my last one then, Dean, is I would like to leave in 2024 the threat of aliens. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
That. People banging on about everyone's gone crazy and they're looking for the new thing.
Mate, shut up and leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me when they've blown somewhere up. Even then, don't tell me. Yeah, you reckon? Just
yeah. Let me just walk into one if one's gonna show up.
Yeah. See how
damn, that's an alien. Shit.
Yeah.
I don't just leave me alone. I don't listen to you, man. Like, I don't want to hear what you lot have to say, and you're just constantly trying to scare me about stuff. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear about the threat of aliens. Leave that in 2024. Come 2025, I want to hear about fun stuff. Enjoyable stuff. I want cat videos.
Same thing with we're in a simulation. Does it matter?
I mean, we are in one. We're not in one. Either way, we're not gonna know. So
either way, you have to go to work and breathe oxygen and be nice to people.
Yeah.
It actually everything in this reality that you've ever experienced existed within the reality that you're experiencing it in. So it don't matter if it's real or not. It's actually
just be a good person.
Yeah. Don't matter. It's fine. You're not getting a special power.
Don't use the excuse of it being a simulation or you thinking you know that it's not a simulation to be a terrible person to other people. Either way, whether you're right or wrong, whether it's true or it's not, just be a good person.
Yeah, because you feel good when you're nice to people.
Yes. And being nice to people allows you to be nice to people, and that person feels good because you've been nice to them. That's always good too. Even if you don't feel anything from it, that person felt something because you were nice. So just be nice.
Yeah, about that.
Actually, more importantly is be kind, because sometimes you're not always nice. But if you're always kind, then I think that's a winner.
I back that one.
That was a nice little message there. I think we did all right.
My last one it's two, but it's the same thing. Being too cool to promote and being too cool to support and asking you. In my band, I bitch about them all the time. Yeah, when we do a show, I won't tell them if we have a guest list, because if we can't convince our friends to come, what is our point? Same thing, like asking your mates for guest list. If they haven't asked you, unless you're actually going through some real financial hardship, but you still want to come to a show, in which case probably just hint at it and they'll let you know. But being too cool to buy a ticket, it's a tenner. Being too cool to promote, it's two pushes of a button. Oh no, but I curate my stories. No one's asked. Everyone clicks off your stories. No one's gone, I tell you what, John, he's got cool stories in,
Anyone who watches stories watches multiple people's stories. Anyone who actually watches stories is watching multiple people's stories. Even if you were to curate your stories, it doesn't fucking matter because it's not going to be in that order necessarily. If you put out 2 stories today, one at 12 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock, I won't only have seen your 12 o'clock and then your 5 o'clock in order to know that you're doing a curation of posts. I won't know because I've probably watched 3 other stories in that time, maybe 10, maybe 30 others. It doesn't matter. You're not too cool to promote your friends. If you can promote a Kendrick song, you don't know Kendrick from a hole in the wall. You should, if your mate makes music and you see that post, fucking retweet it. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Don't be a dick. Share that your friends are doing something fun when you see it. And when you said about the guest list thing, I 100% agree. If you're going to go out to this place to either watch them, perform or go to an event that they're hosting, whatever the case may be, and you have money to go and get pissed while you're there, then you have money to support your friend. You have money to pay for a ticket. Don't ask to be on a guest list. You're rude. you're not a very nice person, you're probably a shitty friend, and therefore you definitely don't deserve guest list. Yeah. So be a nice person.
Purely reserved for like potential future sponsors, really cool industry people, other touring artists who I know for a fact wouldn't come because their per diem isn't fucking covering it. That's what the guest list's actually for, unless you're really going through something, in which case, hint it. It's a tenner.
Yeah, agreed.
Unless you're Slipknot, in which case I'll ask Slipknot. I will ask you for a guestie. You've already been, but still, if it's a 70 quid show, you can ask for guest list. Other than that, you're not allowed.
Yeah, fair. All right, I think that's a good one to end on. Cool. All right, so we're leaving quite a few things in 2024, it seems like, but hopefully it's going to leave room for nice things in 2025, but we'll see how we go. All right, Dean, so this is the final segment of the show. This segment is called Mahakama, and Mahakama is the Swahili word for court, specifically High Court. So this is the section, Dean, where I try to get all of my judgmentalness out, okay? We're going to judge places, people, things, whatever. And I encourage my guest co-host to do the same because I'm trying to be less judgmental in my life. And so I find having a segment on a weekly podcast where I can be judgmental makes me a better human.
About that.
At least that's what I tell myself. Okay. So I don't know if you saw, but this week the UK government announced a proposal to let tech firms use copyrighted works to train AI. So there is an opt-out scheme that's been suggested, similar to the one with Meta. You know, I don't know if you saw that, but they're saying, hey, do you want Facebook and Instagram to look at your captions and posts and comments to train AI? And you could opt out of that. So it's similar to that, which will allow creatives to choose to opt out of having their content used by third-party companies to train AI. In fact, I actually had that message on my YouTube studio as well. So to be clear, this will mean a change in copyright law for the benefit of AI companies, which some say would be harmful to creators, but also others say that it would be beneficial for technological advancement. So I want to know from you, Dean, I want to know your thoughts. So I'm going to ask you mercy or no mercy for the UK government and their proposal to change copyright laws in order to benefit AI companies. Mercy being it's not that bad, you can see benefits to it, and no mercy being this is unacceptable, don't do it. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely no mercy. That's a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
Are my thoughts. A generative AI, not AI, generative AI is just some trend to try and get the last dregs of the last dregs of speculative investment capital left. Bitcoin didn't work. NFTs didn't work, and these are all like the blockchain. Sure, that's a technological advancement. AI itself, technological advancement. Generative AI, not very useful. Kind of just slop, but you can use it as a buzzword to get funding. It doesn't work unless you do copyright infringement. So now they're re-changing the laws to mean that they can do copyright infringement, because otherwise they're fucked, and they have to be like, oh no, we're not going to do the thing we said we're going to do, and suddenly some of these companies start to go bust. It's just fucking scamming it. It's not going to do anything. AI itself might have a lot of use. Don't know how many of them will be good and how many of them will just add to the surveillance state and stuff like that. But generative AI is a bunch of bollocks. Copyright. I don't even like copyright. Like, I personally don't like copyright, but this is basically just trying to bail out these companies that do not provide a service.
Yeah, agreed. I think no mercy as well. I, like you, believe that these are some weird third-party companies that don't really do anything, but they generate money for some people. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on over there. I do think that this will cause irreversible harm to creators. I think this is going to basically make AI smarter, and therefore already they're trying to get rid of people from certain places in certain industries by using AI. And I think this is going to expedite that. And genuinely, I just don't believe that AI will be good for society. I don't. I know they're trying to position it like it would be. I know they're talking about convenience, as they've talked about with so many things that have ended up not being good for us. I know that they are talking about speed of things and usefulness to people and to companies, but really I genuinely do not believe that AI will be good for us as human beings. I don't think that AI will be good for us as individuals. I think it's probably going to be good for certain corporations. I don't even believe it will be good for all companies. I think it's going to put a lot of companies out of business. I think it's going to put a lot of people's livelihood in danger, and I think ultimately it's going to ruin us all. Might not be in the same way as all the dystopian movies that I have ever watched that involve AI or androids or whatever, but I do think it's going to be something that is going to be detrimental to us. Whether it looks like those movies or not is just by the by. But yeah, I don't think that anything about AI is good. I don't think that they have good intentions, and I don't think it's going to lead to anywhere good. So as far as the UK government proposing this, absolutely no mercy. I think if you can, I know there's a few posts going around on the timeline right now. You can contact your local MP if you would like to ask them to make sure that they vote no on this. We do not want this to go through. I think if you are a creator of any kind, if you know any creators, you know anybody that makes content, makes music, writes poems, whatever, this is going to be very dangerous to creators and to artists. So please do something about it if you can.
Yeah, I think
that's just my opinion, though.
It just encourages a loss of imagination, and when people don't have imagination, they just become angry and unfulfilled, and
you become a robot.
Yeah, and making more angry and unfulfilled people who can't think in society is probably a bad idea.
Because then you get somebody who will come along and say, hey, this thing happened and it's this bad thing happened and it's because of them. Go attack them.
Yeah.
Suddenly you go over there and you attack them, and it never was that. That's interesting.
Yeah. And also, the only thing they're trying to say is, oh, imagine you watched a movie and you could be like, oh, I hope Sonic the Hedgehog's in this, and then Sonic the Hedgehog would go into it. That's not how movies work. That's not how thought works. That's not how I don't want to watch a movie that I made. I can't make movies. I'm not smart enough. I need to watch someone else tell me stuff. It's like it's a belief in ego. Like these people think they can make a better product than anyone else, and the only thing that stops them from making these products is the lack of skill. And it's like, no, bro. Imagination is a skill.
What you need.
Yeah.
You need the skill. You need the talent. You need them.
Yeah.
You need them. Yeah. They existed for a reason. This is why people practice at things and get better at things. That's
I'm sorry that the only thing you got from Star Wars is that there's a person called Luke Skywalker. I watched it as a kid and I got some of the themes from it. Not many of them.
And keep it a buck. Even if you were smart enough to make movies, then that's great. You should make movies. But that doesn't stop you from consuming other movies. That doesn't mean other movies shouldn't exist. Do you think Steven Spielberg doesn't watch anything else? Do you think he only watches...
literally spends all of his life and all of his time trying to save random foreign movies? Like, that's what he does. And that's all he does. Like, ugh.
So, yeah, I'm with you. I think... it's just not going. It's not going well, to be honest. But at the same time, we can always have gratitude for the things that are going well in our own personal lives. I think societally, we've got a lot to worry about. But if you're having wins personally, if you've got your health, you've got a roof over your head, your family's good, your loved ones are good, then probably got a lot to celebrate and be grateful for. But just sometimes looking out into society can make me go, oh my God, I don't want to look at this anymore. Let me just look at my own little life and be happy about that. It's a bit scary. So yeah, I'm going to go no mercy for the UK government. I think the UK government is a piece of shit in general. Allegedly for entertainment purposes. This is not a threat of any kind. Please don't harm me or whatever. But yeah, that's the end of the show. Dean, thank you so much for joining me today. Is there anything you would like to let the people know about or promote in any way?
Stress Headache band, I think, on some form of social media. If you happen to like rap music and hardcore, that's what that is. New demos coming out soon. We play every other week. We'll probably play near you at some point. Also, I'm doing probably be my last rap battle. I haven't announced it, but it'll probably, because I can't be asked anymore. versus Graza on Premier Battles at some point in February. I haven't actually checked. That's on their Instagram. That'll be fun. I don't think I have anything else to promote. I'm not promoting right now, but yeah, band rap battle.
Okay, well, I will put that information in the description as well.
You'll have to find out because I don't know.
I will. I'll go find it. Don't worry.
Tell you what, the band's playing in Leicester January the 4th. If anyone's in Leicester on January 4th and doesn't mind getting kicked in the head, come to our show. Or don't.
There you go. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you. If you liked this episode, please do share it with a friend and go check out previous episodes. Also, if you are listening, give us a rating on Apple and Spotify so we can reach more listeners. Please do subscribe and engage with the YouTube if you're watching, and you can catch at Podomercy on all the socials. Other than that, I will see you on Christmas Day next week.